Hey, engineering students, it's Mr. Mao here. Um, as you may have noticed, Mr. Kosik and I both teach this class, so sometimes you'll get videos from him, sometimes you'll get video from me. We're kind of sharing the responsibility of creating these so we can hopefully make them a little bit better for you guys. So anyways, we're going to talk about design basics today. So for this lesson, you're going to watch this video, 13A. 13B is the link to these slides you're looking at. And then 13C is your online textbook. So we're going to talk more about that as we go through the year. So we just want to make sure you can get logged into that. And then most of the work today is going to be setting up your notebook and taking notes on these slides here. So your engineering your textbook is looks like this. And so this is a huge amount of information. There's a ton of stuff in here. We're not going to get to it all this year. If you find something interesting and you want to click around, you can do that. We're going to start in lesson 1.1 design basics here. So you're going to read through this. The main thing is reading this section on creativity and design here. We're not going to do these challenges for in class, right? We'll get to this problem later. So this section on creativity and design, and if you follow through, that takes you to the design process. That is that's the big chunk that we want you to read today and define a couple words from there. And you'll see this come up a lot this year. This is the design process that we're going to keep talking about. Something to point out here is there is a glossary, so you can get some of your vocab words from here. And you'll notice that some of them were like iterative right here. If you click on this, this will give you the definition of what you need. So you'll see that for iterative and optimize and technology. I'm going to give you that definition in a minute. So, so the design process, like we said, engineering is a process. You kind of follow this around and around. Sometimes you go backward steps. Sometimes you might skip across a step. But it is an iterative process that engineers use to solve a problem. Most problems are never truly solved. You might think like writing, like a pencil, right? Like we've got a pencil figured out. Those have changed throughout the years, and they continue to get improved upon. And sometimes it doesn't change the product, but if you can save time, money, or resources in doing that, that is also using the engineering process. So that might happen when somebody gets a better idea or there's new technology that comes along to make something better. Everything all around you, if you look at any sort of invention, any sort of product, it is still continuing to change. Okay, so iterative, that's one of the main words today. Iterative just means something that cycles over and over again. Some examples might be practicing a penalty kick, right? Getting a recipe just right if you're changing the level of spice or changing the flavors in it, or working on your drawing technique. Iterative just means it happens over and over again. You change something, you try again. You change something, you try again. So it's just these small, tiny changes. And hopefully that leads to optimizing. So optimizing is different from iterative. They're both, you're changing things and doing things over and over again, but optimizing is sort of the goal. Optimizing is when things get better. So you're increasing quality, efficiency, or maybe lowering cost. Those are all optimizations. Iterative, maybe you try a new way of kicking and it doesn't quite work out. And that is, then your penalty kicks get worse. You're making less of them. That's iterative. If you're trying new things, that's iterative. And if you're successful, then you have optimized. Okay, so optimizing is kind of the goal. Iteration is the process. And lastly, we have technology here. So this is a scientific or industrial process, invention, method, or the like. This is a really broad definition. A lot of things are technology. So it's the sum of all ways in which social groups provide themselves with the material objects of their civilization. So we think of technology as maybe like robots, AI, like self-driving cars are the cutting edge of technology. At one time, the Model T here was like the greatest and latest in technology. As I talked about before, the pencil is technology, right? That is a piece of technology. And this is a lot of times what we think technology looks like today as computers and stuff. And that is what's changing our lives more than anything else. But any sort of science, engineering that was used to create something, any sort of tool, even a hammer is technology. All right, so from here, you're going to check out the other video from Mr. Q to help you set up your notebooks and turn that in to Schoology as a PDF. Thanks for listening, and we'll continue with this next time.